Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you just quickly about goal setting. We're just a couple days away from the new year, and Kelly and I talk about planning our week and setting goals on a regular basis. But I wanted to spend a minute and chat with you about bigger goals and how to set like quarter goals or yearly goals. Okay, so one of the ways that I suggest that people set goals is to break them into categories because categories seem much more manageable and easy to handle. So some categories that you might want to think about would be your personal fitness goals, your family goals, goals related to your marriage or relationship, personal development, any trainings that you want to do, books that you want to read, things like that. Income, where you want your income to be at certain levels. Business building with Beachbody. So that could be rank, that could be income based, that could be how many coaches you add to your team each month, how many challengers you have each month, Success Club, those kinds of things. Then for each of the goals that you set within those categories, I want you to come up with SMART goals. And SMART means specific, manageable, attainable, realistic, and timely. Okay. So you don't want to say, if you are a brand new coach, you don't want to say, I'll be emerald by January, or I'll be diamond by January 1st. That's not really, that's very specific, but it's not really attainable because of everything that it takes to become diamond. A better goal might be, I'll be emerald by January 1st. That's much more attainable. It's still specific. It's still timely because you're putting a time limit on it. It's realistic and achievable. So a goal for somebody who's been a coach for a while and is emerald might be that they want to be diamond by the end of March. That gives them 3 months. That's the end of the first quarter, and very realistic, specific, measurable, and it makes sense on a specific timeline. It's enough to push you, but it's not such a long timeline. It's not like you're going to say, I want to be diamond by the end of 2016, because you want to push yourself. You want these goals to push you a little bit outside your comfort zone and make you work for it. Okay. So what we really want to focus on is them being manageable, timely, and pushing you a little bit. So maybe business goals would be, like I said, being diamond by the end of March, or making $500 a week by the end of the first quarter, adding 2 new coaches every month, having 5 challengers in each of my monthly challenge groups. Setting specific goals like that are going to help you really push yourself to achieve what you want out of this business. But the first thing you need to do is really figure out, what is it that you want? We talk a lot about creating a life that you want for yourself. And for me, I want to be able to replace my income so that I don't have to return to work in August when my maternity leave is over. So Prentice and I had a long conversation last night about, what do I need to do? What can we do as a partnership and a team to build our Beachbody business to allow me to stay home with Owen and the girls? So those are all things that we're working on. So we have created our other goals around that end goal of increasing our income through Beachbody to allow us to have me stay home, or maybe only return to work part-time. So those are the things that you want to think about. Think about where you want to be at the end of the year, and then we reverse engineer it. So we figure out, what are the steps that you're going to need to be doing, the things that you need to achieve in order to reach that longer term goal. So for us, everything centers around me not going back to work full-time. My job is an hour away from our house, and I work 12-hour shifts. So I have to commute for an hour, work for 12 hours, and then drive an hour home. I work from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. So I leave by 9:30, 9:45 in the morning, and I don't get home until after midnight. 4 to 5 days a week. And that's a rotating schedule. So, I work for 3 or 4 days at a time, 5 days, and have 3 or 4 off, and then work for 4 or 5 days. And while it's nice to have those days off, that would mean that I don't see Owen other than for a brief bit in the morning, because he doesn't wake up until about 8:30. I wouldn't see my baby for 5 to 6 days in a row, or 4 to 5 days in a row, and that's not acceptable to me. So the drive for me to build my business and make it so that I don't have to go back to that job is massive. The fire inside of me is so hot and so important that I'm going to work harder than I've ever worked to make this work for our family. So that's our end goal. And now we have to reverse engineer it to figure out how much money do I need to be making every week or every month to make that doable. How do I make that money? I have X number of new clients or new customers. I have X number of new coaches. I have, whatever rank that's going to be, to make sure that I'm getting my cycle bonuses and really benefiting from placement in my downline and building Prentice's business along with my business. It's a whole process to go through to do this planning. But the reward at the end of it is going to be amazing, okay? So I am more than happy to have a quick conversation. I've got some time this week before we go out of town for New Year's. If anyone is interested in having a conversation about A, goal planning, the long-term goals, or B, kind of reverse engineering it to figure out what your SMART goals need to be, I'm more than happy to have a conversation. So comment below, and we can set up a time in the next day or two to have a conversation. This is for anybody on our team. So whether you're in my downline or Kelly's downline, or wherever on our team, I'm happy to have that conversation with you and help you really figure out what these goals are going to be. But please, whatever you do, whether you decide to work with me and figure this out, whether you decide to do it on your own, or whether you want to talk to your spouse about it, or however you go about doing it, please, please, please do it. Don't say I'll figure it out next week. Don't say, I'm not sure what my goals are. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing and see where it goes. Because what happens when you don't plan is that nothing happens. You fail to plan means you plan to fail, okay? Will you still be Emerald in 6 months? Maybe. Will you grow to Diamond? Maybe. There's no telling. If you don't have a goal and you don't have a plan, you're not working towards anything, and you can become really stagnant or even fall off and kind of go backwards, okay? So goal planning and goal setting is so important, and I would love to help any of you who are interested in doing that, okay? So just comment below. We'll figure out a time that works for the two of us, and we'll set up a chat to help plan some goals. If you have any other questions, make sure to comment below. Talk to you later and have a great day. Bye, guys.